Welcome to our channel. Today, we dive into the spine-chilling world of horror with 3 true scariest horror stories from the USA. These aren't the stories you tell around a campfire. These are the stories that stick with you long after the fire's gone out. The ones that make you question if you really are alone in the dark. Make sure to turn off the lights and get ready to be terrified. Our first stop takes us deep into the heart of Adams, Tennessee, a place shrouded in mystery and steeped in eerie folklore. It's here in the early 1800s that the Bell family farmhouse became a breeding ground for something sinister, something that would forever change their lives. This was not just any haunting, it was an event that would forever etch their name in the annals of paranormal history, a tale that would be told for generations. Imagine, if you will, a seemingly ordinary family, trying to make a life for themselves on the American frontier, facing the daily struggles and joys of pioneer life, when suddenly, their lives are turned upside down by an unseen entity, a force that defies explanation and brings terror into their home. This wasn't just some creaking floorboards or a cold spot in the house, this was different. It was an intelligence, a presence that seemed to have a mind of its own. This was an intelligence, a malevolence that made itself known through whispers, taunts, and even physical assaults, leaving the family in a state of constant fear. The patriarch of the family, John Bell, was the first to experience the wrath of this unseen tormentor, a torment that would soon spread to the rest of the family. It began subtly, whispers in the dead of night, strange noises in the attic, but then, it escalated, becoming more frequent and more violent. The whispers turned to growls, the noises to violent thuds and scratches as if the very walls of the house were alive with malevolent energy. Imagine lying in bed, paralyzed by fear, as unseen hands pull at your bedsheets, icy fingers brush against your skin, leaving you breathless and terrified. John Bell didn't have to imagine it, he lived it. Night after night the terror continued, relentless and unyielding. But the entity, which the family would come to call the Bell Witch, wasn't content with tormenting John alone. It spread its malevolent influence to every member of the family. It targeted the entire family, but its focus seemed to be laser-focused on John's daughter, Betsy, a young girl who would bear the brunt of its wrath. Imagine being a young woman, on the cusp of adulthood, and being the target of a malevolent spirit, a force that seemed to take pleasure in her suffering. Imagine the fear that must have gripped Betsy's heart as the entity pulled her hair, slapped her face, and whispered threats only she could hear, threats that would haunt her every waking moment. The Bell Witch was relentless, its reign of terror stretching on for years, a dark cloud that hung over the Bell family, refusing to dissipate. Now, some people might try to explain away these events, offering rational explanations for the inexplicable. They might say it was all in their heads, mass hysteria, or even elaborate pranks, but the evidence suggests otherwise. But the sheer intensity of the events, the witnesses who claim to have experienced the phenomena firsthand, paint a different picture, one that is hard to dismiss. One of the most compelling pieces of evidence comes from none other than a future president of the United States, Andrew Jackson, a man not easily swayed by superstition. Jackson, a man known for his skepticism and his courage, is said to have visited the Bell farm to witness the phenomena for himself, seeking the truth behind the legends. What he experienced there, we may never know for sure, but legend has it that he left the farm shaken and convinced of the supernatural nature of the Bell Witch, a testament to the power of the unknown. The torment continued for years, culminating in the untimely death of John Bell, a tragic end to a life plagued by unrelenting terror. Some say the witch poisoned him, whispering to him on his deathbed, a final act of cruelty from an entity that seemed to revel in their suffering. Even after John's death, the Bell Witch lingered, continuing to torment the family before finally, mercifully, disappearing as suddenly as it had arrived, leaving behind a legacy of fear. The Bell Witch story is a chilling reminder that some mysteries can't be explained, some doors are best left unopened, and some forces are beyond our understanding. The Bell family's ordeal serves as a stark warning from beyond, a reminder that sometimes the darkness is real, and it has a name that will never be forgotten. From the rural South we travel west, to the towering peaks of the Rocky Mountains, a journey that takes us from the familiar to the unknown, to a place that has become synonymous with horror itself, the Stanley Hotel, a name that sends shivers down the spine of even the bravest souls. Nestled amidst the breathtaking beauty of Estes Park, Colorado, the Stanley Hotel stands as a grand old sentinel, a beacon of both beauty and mystery, its imposing facade hinting at the secrets hidden within its walls, secrets that have captivated and terrified visitors for decades. It was here, in the winter of 1974, that author Stephen King, along with his wife Tabitha, found themselves snowed in, the hotel's only guests, an experience that would forever change the landscape of horror literature. Imagine the silence of a vast empty hotel, the echoing hallways, each step reverberating through the stillness, the flickering lights casting long dancing shadows that seemed to move with a life of their own. It was within these very walls that King's most iconic novel, The Shining, was born. A story that has haunted readers and viewers alike. But the Stanley story isn't confined to the pages of a book, it's woven into the very fabric of the building, a tapestry of history and hauntings. Long before King drew inspiration from its haunted halls, the Stanley was already a hotbed of paranormal activity. Guests reported disembodied voices, phantom footsteps, and eerie occurrences, and the unsettling feeling of being watched, a sensation that sends chills down the spine. One particular hotspot is room 217, a room that has become legendary in its own right, the very room that terrified Stephen King all those years ago, leaving an indelible mark on his psyche. It's said to be haunted by the spirit of Elizabeth Wilson, a former housekeeper who died in the room after a freak accident, her presence still felt by those who dare to stay. Guests have reported seeing her apparition, a ghostly figure that appears and vanishes in the blink of an eye, feeling the tuck of unseen hands on their blankets, a sensation that leaves them frozen in fear, and hearing the rustle of her long skirt in the dead of night, a sound that echoes through the silence. But Elizabeth isn't the only spectral plane. The hotel's founder, F.O. Stanley, and his wife Flora are also said to roam the halls, their presence felt in the flicker of lights, a subtle yet unmistakable sign of their lingering spirits. The soft notes of a piano seemingly played by unseen hands, a melody that drifts through the air, and the faint scent of Flora's favorite perfume, a fragrance that lingers long after she is gone. Imagine checking into a hotel room only to find yourself sharing it with unseen guests, their presence felt in every creak of the floorboard, every gust of wind that rattles the windows, a constant reminder that you are never truly alone. The Stanley Hotel isn't just a place to spend the night, it's an experience, a journey into the heart of the unknown, where every corner holds a new mystery. Whether you're a skeptic or a believer, there's no denying the palpable sense of history, of mystery, that permeates every inch of this grand old hotel. The Stanley Hotel stands as a testament to the power of our deepest fears, a place where reality blurs with the supernatural, and the line between fact and fiction becomes terrifyingly thin, a place where shadows dance and whispers linger. So the next time you find yourself in Estes Park, Colorado, consider a stay at the Stanley Hotel, if you dare. Whether you seek a brush with the paranormal or simply wish to immerse yourself in its rich history, the Stanley Hotel offers an experience unlike any other, a blend of elegance and eeriness that is sure to leave a lasting impression. The Stanley Hotel stands as a testament to the power of our deepest fears, a place where reality blurs with the supernatural, and the line between fact and fiction becomes terrifyingly thin. Our final destination takes us to the banks of the Ohio River, to the small town of Point Pleasant, West Virginia. This quaint town, with its serene river views and close-knit community, seems like an unlikely setting for one of the most chilling legends in American folklore. It's here, in the shadows of the Silver Bridge, that one of the most unsettling and enduring cryptid legends took flight, the legend of the Mothman. This creature has fascinated and terrified people for decades, becoming a symbol of mystery and fear. Imagine, if you will, a small town shrouded in the mist and fog that rolls in off the river, a place where secrets linger like the morning mist. The air is thick with an eerie stillness, and the quiet streets seem to whisper tales of the unknown. It was in November of 1966 that the first sightings began. The town was going about its usual business, unaware that it was on the brink of becoming the epicenter of a legend that would captivate the world. Witnesses described a creature unlike anything they had ever seen before, a towering figure with glowing red eyes and enormous wings that spanned over 10 feet. This being seemed to defy the laws of nature, instilling fear in all who encountered it. It moved with an eerie silence, gliding through the shadows, its eyes burning into the souls of those unlucky enough to cross its path. The Mothman seemed to be a harbinger of something ominous, a dark presence that loomed over the town. The creature became known as the Mothman, and its presence cast a pall over the town of Point Pleasant. The once peaceful town was now gripped by fear and uncertainty, as the legend of the Mothman grew with each new sighting. Some dismissed the sightings as mass hysteria, others as misidentified birds or even hoaxes. Skeptics tried to rationalize the phenomenon, but the fear and intrigue continued to spread. But the sheer number of witnesses, the consistency of their accounts, suggested something far more sinister at play. People from all walks of life reported seeing the same terrifying creature, adding credibility to the legend. The Mothman sightings weren't just isolated incidents, they seemed to coincide with strange occurrences around town. Unexplained lights in the sky, electrical disturbances and other odd phenomena were reported with increasing frequency. People reported seeing strange lights in the sky, experiencing vivid nightmares, and feeling a sense of impending doom. The atmosphere in Point Pleasant grew more tense and uneasy with each passing day. Then on December 15, 1967, tragedy struck. The Silver Bridge, a suspension bridge connecting Point Pleasant to Gallipolis, Ohio, collapsed during rush hour, sending dozens of cars and their occupants plunging into the icy waters below. The disaster was sudden and catastrophic. 46 people lost their lives that day, and the town was left reeling in shock and grief. The collapse of the Silver Bridge was a devastating blow to the community. 46 people lost their lives that day, and the town was left reeling in shock and grief. In the aftermath, the community came together to mourn and support each other, but the shadow of the Mothman loomed large. In the aftermath of the tragedy, many couldn't help but connect the Mothman sightings to the bridge collapse. The timing of the events seemed too coincidental to ignore, leading to speculation and fear. Was it a mere coincidence, or was there a more sinister connection? The questions lingered, and the legend of the Mothman grew even more complex and mysterious. Some believed that the Mothman was a harbinger of doom, its appearance a warning of the impending tragedy. The creature's sightings were seen as an omen, a sign that something terrible was about to happen. Others believed that the creature was drawn to the town by the negative energy surrounding the bridge, which was already under immense stress and on the verge of collapse. The Mothman, they say, was attracted to the impending disaster. Whatever the truth may be, the legend of the Mothman and the tragedy of the Silver Bridge remain forever intertwined, a chilling reminder that sometimes the line between our world and the unknown can be terrifyingly thin. The events in Point Pleasant have left an indelible mark on the town's history. The Mothman sightings ceased as suddenly as they began, but the legend lives on, a haunting reminder that there are still mysteries in this world that defy explanation. The story of the Mothman continues to captivate and terrify, a testament to the enduring power of folklore. The Mothman serves as a chilling reminder that we are not alone, that there are things lurking in the shadows, watching, waiting. The legend of the Mothman endures, a symbol of the unknown and the unexplained. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed these terrifying tales, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more spine-tingling stories. Remember, the next time you're alone in the dark and you hear a bump in the night, it might not be the wind. Sweet dreams.